Hey there, everybody. It's Dana Shea Williams with KeepAllYourCash.com. And in today's video, I really want to talk to the person who chronically says, I'm going to think about doing something. And, the problem with that is a lot of times when we're, quote, thinking about doing something, we're really just buying time. We're procrastinating because we're unsure of it. And so instead of people just saying, I'm not really sure about this or I'm scared, they'll just say, oh, that sounds great. I'm going to think about it or I'll let you know. And, what happens in the interim during the time that they're supposed to be thinking about it is they're not really thinking about it at all. They're just, procrastinating, maybe looking at another opportunity and trying to talk themselves out of doing it. Now, this principle that I'm going to share with you all today will work if you're thinking about joining a business, but it will also work no matter what decision you're thinking about in life. We all kind of go through times in our life where we're looking at a choice between choice A or choice B, and we need to make a decision, but we're indecisive for whatever reason. And you all know, if you watch some of my prior videos, and I'm actually reading through a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And what he shares, I think we're in chapter 7. And I just want to read to you a little bit about what Maxwell says, because I think that this is really going to really encourage you. And I actually posted something on my Facebook fan page probably about 2 weeks ago. And I said, we are so willing to bet on, so many things. We go to the casinos, we can bet there, we're willing to bet somebody on whatever, but we don't want to bet on ourselves. And I thought this was so fitting that there is a subtitle in this chapter called Why Not Bet on Yourself? And so let me just read to you all a little bit about what he says. He says, standing still, failure to act causes people who are faced with a problem to become nervous, trapped, and can bring on a host of physical symptoms. Think about a time in your life where you've been literally mulling over a decision and you just can't come to a conclusion. It literally will manifest itself in your physical body. You'll start to sweat. You'll start to become nervous or agitated. Why? Because our bodies were not built to be under that sort of stress or pressure. Okay? He says, I tell such people, study the situation thoroughly. Go over it in your imagination, the various courses of action possible to you, and the consequences which can and may follow from each course. Pick out the course which gives the most promise and go ahead. If we wait until we are absolutely certain and sure before we act, we'll never do anything. That's so true. I mean, think about if you're, dating somebody and you're like, I really want to marry them, but I'm not 100% sure. Some people might tell you don't do it until you're 100% sure. But if those same people are honest, they probably were not 100% sure before they married their spouses. If you're looking at starting a new job or starting a new business or having children, you're probably not going to be 100% sure, but you have to weigh the pros and the cons. And what I do a lot of times is I actually make a pros and cons list. I'll put on one side of the paper all the reasons for doing that particular thing, and then I'll put on the other side of the paper all the reasons that I should not. And basically, whichever list has the most, wins. Now, of course, I have to temper that a little bit because, if like the con is it's going to destroy my family, you know what I mean, then it's kind of a no-brainer. But you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay, let me keep reading here. He says, anytime you act can be wrong. Any decision you make can turn out to be the wrong one, but we must not let this deter us from going after the goal that we want. You must daily have the courage to risk making mistakes. You must be willing to risk making mistakes. You must be willing to risk failure, risk being humiliated. A step in the wrong direction is better than staying on the spot all your life. I'm going to read that again. A step in the wrong direction is better than staying on the spot all your life. Once you're moving forward, you can correct your course as you go. Your automatic guidance system cannot guide you when you're stalled standing still. And, people not only will tell me, I'm thinking about joining the business, but then they'll in turn start asking me a whole bunch of questions about it. Because really what they're trying to do is they're trying to convince themselves that this is the thing that they need to do. And that's not my job to convince you, okay? And so if you've been watching these videos and you've been hearing a lot about Empower Network and somehow you stumbled upon this video because you're waiting for yet another confirmation that this is what you need to do, you just need to make a decision. Because guess what? If you keep standing still, you could have been much further along the journey by now. There are people that literally have come into this business and, they missed out on a lot of things that we did early on because they were stuck, because they didn't want to make a decision, because they were scared. And I know that fear is usually the thing that paralyzes us the most. Fear is the thing that paralyzes us. It allows you not to be able to move. It allows you to stay stuck in your current position. But what I want to do is I want to encourage you, whether it's this business or whether it's something else, you need to just make a decision and you need to be willing to bet on yourself. You know, so many times we think of the negative in ourselves. Well, what if this doesn't work? Well, what if it does? Well, what if I don't make any money? But what if you do? Well, what if, no, I can't attract any people to me? But what if you attract a lot of people to you? What if you attract someone who's going to earn you 6 figures? You see, we are not willing to bet on ourselves in life. And that's something that I'm teaching my kids. Look, you better bet on yourself. Don't put more confidence in anybody else than you're willing to put in yourself. And so I could go on and on and on about this because I'm so passionate about it, because I took a step of faith and I said, you know what? I'm going to believe in myself. I can't speak for so-and-so. My sponsor is great and I love her to death, but my life is not in her hands. I'm willing to bet on myself and I'm willing to make my way successful. So because I believe that, then I've taken a step of faith and it's working for me. And see, a lot of times things don't work for people because they really never believed that it would anyway. I mean, you think about two, young people who get married and they were like, I don't know if this is really going to work out, but let's just try. Well, they're going to be divorced. Because you can't go into something that big with that mentality. There are people that come into this business all day long and say things like, I hope it works. I'm not sure if it's going to work. My neighbor tried it and it didn't work for her. And then they wonder why they can't make any money. So you guys, I've said this 1,000 times. I'm just going to say it again as we wrap up this video, that it's all here. It's all mental. It's all in what is it that you truly believe. If you believe that you can make something work, then you need to choose that decision, go on in full faith, and don't worry about the consequences. Don't worry about the humiliation like Maxwell says in this book. Don't worry about those things. You set your focus that this is what I'm going to do, and then you work toward that goal until completion. So I hope this has been helpful for you all. And if you are mulling over the decision to join Empower Network, I want to encourage you to join. You can join by simply clicking the link below this video, and I will do my very best to help you in order to get your mindset right so that you can rock this business. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.